And finally, we haven't talked much about last year's game. It's not an easy one to forget. Illinois first and goal at the Michigan 5 in the final minute, trailing 16-10. The Illini did not get the touchdown. That final minute has been a rallying point during practice this week. Dwight Beverly was the guy who got the call on that fourth down play in last year's game. He said Wednesday night what most of his teammates feel.
I thought about it, I got to work hard. If the opportunity's there again, I'm going to make it this time.
That's it from here. We'll see you tomorrow at game time, 11:30 here at the stadium.
And we'll hope everybody's still smiling tomorrow, Dan. Thanks.
And I hope you put your war paint back on tomorrow, Dan.
For the campus and the community, it's been a week-long party with the day targeted as New Year's Eve and the 4th of July all wrapped up as one. An afternoon of big games. At Champaign, of course, you're going to watch Michigan against Illinois, and then down in the South. The big one about to start, Illinois and Michigan. I didn't think there was any way that West Virginia could lose to Penn State last Saturday, so I'm going to spit the bit. Pat, what do you think about Illinois, Michigan?
I like Illinois. They have an awesome defense, and last year, you remember, they came within a couple of yards of an upset, so I'm going with the Illini.
Coach, how about you?
Well, I'm influenced because I was at Ann Arbor, and Michigan's the #2 defensive team in the country, just behind Texas. They got a great running game. They've been in big games. They're averaging over 400 yards. I go with Michigan.
All right, we'll see.
Head football coach at Illinois. What thoughts go through this man's mind? Does he recall an era when Bob Zuppke directed Illinois to its last undefeated Big Ten season? Does he remember the immortal galloping ghost, Red Grange, who dedicated the stadium in 1924 with 5 touchdowns? Does his mind wander to All-American linebacker Dick Butkus, who led the Illini to their last Rose Bowl in 1963? Illinois has met the challenge of Iowa and Ohio State, and now he wonders what it will take for this year's team to get over one final hurdle. The Wolverines of Michigan and their leader, their general, the dean of Big Ten coaches, Bo Schembechler. It was on this field a year ago where Illinois stood 2 yards away from victory on 4th down, and they couldn't punch it in. So many thoughts must run through Mike White's mind in the biggest game in 2 decades for Illinois. Maybe the game of a lifetime for Illini fans. It's the run for the roses. It's Michigan against Illinois. Rogers, the leading rusher in the Big Ten. And now, speaking of the Big Ten, Wisconsin, who has beaten Ohio State the last 2 years in Columbus, leading. Michigan State, as you know, Minnesota now will be looking for a new coach. And
here we go. Trudeau to Williams, over the middle, and he is gone after he turns the corner. A swan dive over the alumni stripe, and Illinois is ahead by a score of 14-6. And that would have been more than enough today. Big celebration at the stadium. The defense took over from that point. Smith back to throw. Michigan was forced to pass. He was hammered there by Don Thorpe. And the kicking game was outstanding today. Chris Sigourney's punt here. This is midway through the 4th quarter. Caught and down at the 1-yard line. They kept him in a hole all day long, and if you thought that one was good, as Sig did, obviously, here, you'll love the next one. This came with just about 1.5 minutes to play. Evan Cooper back to field it for the Wolverines. Ran out of the end zone, back to the end zone, and was stopped right there by Joe Miles for the 2-point safety. Illinois takes the lead 16-6. That would be the final score, and there's a lot of celebrating going on tonight.
And Illinois is headed to Pasadena.